Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls in It podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, the 31st of January, 2018. How are we already through 1 month of the year?
Carefully.
Craziness. And this is episode 279. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, we had some people introduce themselves in the Ravelry group this week. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay. Wiggle, who is Hey Wiggle from Montana. Pixie, who is Fairy Bug from New York. And Lisa, who is Yall Cat 2 from Texas.
Welcome. Thanks for introducing y'allself. We're glad that
Y'all self?
Y'all selves.
No.
Y'all's,
Don't say that again.
Y'all selves.
No. Yourselves.
Y'all selves.
No.
Tammy, if somebody's not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our instructions thread, because you'll be able to participate. You'll get a shout out on our next episode, and you'll be able to participate in all our alongs and giveaways.
We have a giveaway this week to announce.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So stay tuned for that. Well, we have quite a few things to talk about, so we should probably get started. Here we go.
Now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
What's on your needles, Dammy?
Okay, I am working on my last sample for our Tickled Pink book coming out sometime in the spring.
Yes.
This is Tickled Pink wrap. It's on US 3, 3.25 millimeters, and the yarn is Seven Sisters Arts. I can't remember the name of the base. It begins with an M-A, has a K in it. Malika, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
But I've got the whole pattern ready, and now I've written down the written instructions for the pattern, and all I need to do is make the chart for the test pattern, and then I can send it to testers. Then all I have to do is finish my samples.
Yes. You finished one.
Yeah. 1 of 4.
So you've got the wrap, you've got the cowl, and you've got...
Sock.
Which sock do you still have?
The Suburban Stitcher.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. Well, is there anything else you're working on?
No.
Okay.
So, what's on your needles?
I have 4 things on my needles right now. First up is my 10-stitch zigzag blanket. This is a free pattern by Frankie Brown. I'm on US 4's 3.5 mil needles, and I'm using
I have no idea what you're
Ginger's hand-dyed...
Oh, the Royal Botanics?
In the Royal Botanics colorway from the Indie Craft Crawl 2017. And pictures on the screen, obviously, and I'm making progress. I don't know what zigzag I'm on. Maybe close to 10? I don't know. Anyway, I'm making progress on that. Next up, I am working on these pink stripy socks. This is sock number 2. This is from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern, which you can get on Ravelry. I'm on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is String Theory Colorworks Entanglement Self-Striping in the Oxytocin colorway. So I think I had finished the first one last week, so there's the finished one. And then it has a contrast toe heel cuff, which that way it doesn't break up the striping, which I really love. So I'm working on that. And then, do y'all remember a few weeks ago when I made these shorty fingerless mitts with my with my leftover Christmas sock yarn? Because I wanted something short enough that it wouldn't cover up my my Fitbit watch with my kitty.
Fitbit Ionic.
Yep, there's my kitty Inca. I have to feed her by walking steps. So I used some of the stuff from the leftover sock yarn mitts pattern by Jean Stevenson to kind of modify it, because I didn't want to do ribbing. I wanted it to roll at the top and bottom. But I'm making some for a friend, and I actually finished the first one yesterday. Ends have not been woven in yet, but there we go. So there's that. This is on US 3's 3.25 mil needles, and the yarn was gifted to me, so I have no idea what it is. It's got this pink, it's got this pale green, it's got little flecks of blue and white. If you recognize this yarn, will you tell me so I know what it is? It's very pretty. I really, really like it. So there, the first one's done. So I will cast on the second one maybe for knit night tonight, and work on it. It's a very fast knit. I cast this on Monday night, and I finished it yesterday. So I'm not giving away secret sauce talking about it, because it's the pattern I used to modify it is a free pattern. But I just cast on with a loose cast on, and I knit something like 30 some odd rows. I think I cast on 46 stitches, and then I cast on 12 extra stitches using a backwards loop cast on for the thumb gusset, and then decrease those every third row, and then did like another 14-ish rows after the decreases. If anybody wants like the exact numbers, let me know, and I'll add it like to my project page or something. But yeah, so I'm making these for a friend, and I really like how they're turning out. And then the other thing I'm working on, I can't show you. It's this is not the finished title, but it's a beach cowl. It was inspired by a beach in Edmonds, Washington, across the water. I'm on US 2.5 3mm needles, and I'm using Pandia's Jewels Snug in the Brackets Landing colorway. This is a pattern for a club, and I designed a pair of socks for it, but then I also took the 2 stitch patterns from the socks and created this cowl. So it's not like super close fitting, but it'll sit kind of here, and it'll be not super tall, maybe, I don't know, that. So, but I'm loving how it's coming out. The yarn is so stunning. Julia of Pandia's Jewels is just a color genius. So that is what is on my needles. So I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about your finished projects.
Yes, I have 3. So, but I want to well, let me tell you about them and I'll show you the sets. So I knit a couple of pair of baby chino socks by somebody who's in the room right here. This is my first, well actually, my first and second time to knit one of your patterns. Mm-hmm. So these are on US 3's 3.25mm needles, and the yarn is Bernays Softy Baby Ombres and Prince, and this is in the Prince Pebbles colorway. So there's, oops, I keep dropping things, y'all. These these are the baby size with cute little heels in them. So I knit this pair to go with the newborn size Bumble hat, which is a pattern by Tin Can Knits. So this is for a couple at our family at our church who are having a newborn baby girl, and I didn't know they were having a girl at the time I bought the yarn.
Newborn baby girl.
Well, newborn hat, sorry, a new baby girl. I didn't know at the time they were having a girl, so I picked gender neutral colors. So there is the first set, so newborn size hat and the baby socks. And then the second set is the same yarn, but in the baby colorway. And so again, I did the baby size socks. I love this pattern, it's so pretty. And I did the baby size Bumble hat, but I turned it inside out. So right side looks like this. But I loved how it looked inside out with this yarn. Mm-hmm. So, so there's that. Dammy's still going to soak and block these for me. But, so yeah. So I will have 2 sets of hats and socks for this family at church that are having a baby girl. And the reason I did 2 different size hats is so that the baby would be able to grow with them. But the socks, I just did the baby size because I figure the toddler would be too big for at least the first year, probably even more. So 2 pairs of socks to go with the 2 hats. And then I also did my weekly preemie hat. This is number 4 for the year. This is from my free top-down preemie hat on Ravelry. Top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. I used US 6's 4mm needles, and I held double the Ginger's Hand-Dyed Mash and Mayhem 4-ply in the Voyager and Jamaican Jewels colorway. So that was left over from the It's Always Been Forever for Me Sassenach shawl, the Outlander shawl that I did. And then the color, this color here is shiny string sock in the corn colorway, and I held it doubled as well. So I feel like those match up pretty well there. So yay. So that is number 4 again for the year. So I am making good progress. And that's everything that is off by Needles. So we have some yummies to talk about. So let's move on. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, yummies. What are yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. And Dammy, you got a yummy in the post this week.
Yes, I did. This is from Ramona, who is Ramona Firehorse on Ravelry, but Punky Pins on Etsy, I think. I'm guessing. Punky Pins. So, she sent me this cute little cat-eared yarn ball with knitting needles pin because she accidentally made 2 of them for an order. And so now I have this cute little
It's
pin.
adorable. We should look at that site.
Yes.
Because that would be fun. That's so cute.
So thank you, Ramona.
Yes.
And check out her pins. I'm pretty sure it's Punky Pins on Etsy.
It's
Punky Pins. Just Google Punky Pins.
I will put a link in the show note. We'll look it up and we'll put a link in the show notes so that y'all can buy if you would like to.
Okay. That's my yummy. What is your yummy?
I am so excited. Literally, this just came like in the last 5 minutes, and I'm so excited. Okay. If you've been watching the podcast, if you've been watching the podcast for very long, you have most likely heard me talking about my very favorite nonfiction author, Anne Voskamp. Her writing has like seriously changed my life. Her first book is called 1,000 Gifts, and the premise of it is taking the time to acknowledge the thanksgivings, the blessings, the gratitudes, the gifts. The Eucharisteo, which is a
it's like a Greek mashup of words.
It's a Greek mashup of words. I should have looked it up. That mean like Thanksgiving. Yeah. In fact, sometime in the last few years, my word for the year was Eucharisteo.
We had a banner on our wall.
We did.
And then you made us get rid of it.
I'm going to make a smaller one because that one was massive and it was starting to fall apart.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. And then her most recent book is called The Broken Way. She also has a blog that I've been reading for years and years and years. So I'm telling you all this so that I can like fill you in on what happened. So this was back before Christmas because I found out about it when we were driving home with Alexi. So her new book, The Broken Way, got put on Target's like top 10 best-selling book list or something. Anne is from Canada, and there's not a Target near her, but she wanted to do a fun giveaway. So she asked people to go to their local Target and take a photo with her book in the store and post it, and she was going to do a giveaway thing. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. I so want to win. And I was like, but the chances of me winning is very slim. But I'm going to do it anyway because I love her books. And so the hubs and I made a trip to Target and took the photo and posted it. And then a few weeks ago, I got a message that I was one of the winners. And then just today, the prize came. So let me tell you about let me first show you. Isn't this beautiful card? Eucharisteo, that's what we were just talking about. Eucharisteo always, always precedes the miracle. This is going to go on my wall. It's so beautiful with a lovely note from Anne. She's such a beautiful soul. I love her. So the bag that I won is from Seiko Designs, and I will link this in the show notes. This is the Safari leather bucket bag, which is expensive, and I would not have ever been able to buy on my own. It's 16 inches high by 11.5 inches long by 5.5 inches wide, because I know it's going to be hard to tell the perspective when I show it. It's got pockets, 2 pockets inside. It's handcrafted from Ethiopian oil tanned leather, and Seiko is a company that works with primarily women in their countries, mostly third world countries, to be able to do something that will help provide for their families. So this was handcrafted by women in Uganda.
Ethiopia. Said it was Ethiopia.
Is is Uganda and Ethiopia.
They're two separate countries.
Okay, I think they've worked with people in Ethiopia as well, but this one, yeah, because this said Ethiopia on it, but this particular bag was made in Uganda. Oh wow, they earn fair wages along with benefits. Every year, a class of Uganda's brightest young women work at Seiko during the gap between high school and college and receive fair wages and a scholarship that enables them to continue on to university and become leaders in their communities and the world. Their mission is to educate and empower women. That's so awesome. So here is the stunning bag. How beautiful is it? This is Seiko. And then it's unlined inside, but it has two pockets. It has, sorry, this is hard to show. It has a zipper pocket here with a really substantial zipper, which I like. And then it also has a pocket just in front of it that's like to slide something down in. It smells amazing. So I am so excited about this bag that I won from Ann Voss Camp. I've looked at Seiko stuff over the years because there's been podcasts that I listened to that have talked about Seiko. But like I said, it was just not ever in my budget. So I am just overjoyed, so excited for this bag to come. When the postal worker was walking up to the door, I was like, okay, I'm not expecting anything from like Amazon today or anything. I'm like, I wonder if it's my bag. And then it was. So, I know Anne does not watch this, but thank you, Anne. And I highly, highly recommend her books and her blog. I will put links in the show notes to all of that so that you can find her stuff if you're interested. Okay, I need a drink of water. And then we're going to talk about a giveaway that we're doing. So in last week's episode, we reviewed the book I Knit New York that was edited by Kathleen Dames and Alice O'Reilly. And then Kathleen reached out to us and she was like, why did I not think about asking y'all to do a giveaway too when you were reviewing it? I was like, it's not a problem. We can do it now. So what we're going to ask you to do is visit the I Knit New York Ravelry page. So it has all the patterns on it. Find your favorite pattern and then come to our Geeky Girls Knit Ravelry group and find the giveaway thread and post in that thread what your favorite pattern is. Only one entry per person. You must be a member of our Ravelry group to participate.
That should be 281 because this is 279 right now.
Oops. 281. And we'll keep the giveaway open until we record episode 281 in 2 weeks. And then you'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you are a winner. So, yeah. So thank you so much to Kathleen and Alice for giving us an ebook to give away to y'all. It's such fabulous. We really, really enjoyed it. So you should definitely check that out. All right. Do we have any other yummies to add? Okay. Let's talk about hashtag #GGKCraftyPad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right, and we're wrapping up the January list today, and the February list is live. February is our alphabet soup month. Every day except for the 14th and the 28th is a letter of the alphabet, and you interpret that however you wish and post your photos. So Dammy, we are about to show them what?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. So those were our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. It's never too late to join in. You just take a look at the prompt for the day. Today when we're recording, the prompt is fun. You post a picture interpreting that however you wish. We're very cheater friendly. And make sure in the caption you use hashtag #GGKCraftyPad and yours might get chosen. Dammy has a correction to make.
Yes, I misread this note from Ramona Firehorse, thinking that Punky Pins is her business. It is not. She accidentally got 2 through a double order. She did not make 2 on accident because I misread this note. But still, thank you, Ramona, for this cute pin, and I love it.
And
I just feel ridiculous now.
You're not ridiculous. Punky Pins has their own website that we'll link in the show notes.
Yeah.
You're not ridiculous. I misread things all the time.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to our next segment.
Now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Dammy?
I am still reading Emma by Jane Austen and The Glass Scientist by Sabrina Kutungo.
Cool. Anything to say about either of those?
Emma, misunderstandings abound. Of course.
It's life.
Yeah.
It's life. So are you still getting your 15 minutes a day in?
Yup.
Awesome. And what that is referencing is our January, February, March RAL read along.
Wow.
RAL. The challenge is to read 15 minutes every day, and we have it's not an FO thread, in our group where you have one post for the 3 months and you go in and edit it.
Dash.
Exactly.
There's a cheerful bird outside too.
There is a cheerful bird outside. And there's also a chatter thread, which has been very active, where you can talk about what you're reading and make book recommendations and all kinds of stuff. And we'll be doing 2 sets of giveaways if you participate in this. One of the giveaways is if you complete at least 87 of the 90 days, you'll be in for a giveaway. We'll do at least 1 ebook giveaway, maybe more. There are also 2 giveaways sponsored by Iggy Star, that is a skein of Firefly inspired yarn with my Firefly sock pattern, and a skein of Doctor Who inspired yarn with any one of my single Doctor Who inspired patterns. In addition, everyone who completes the at least 87 days will get a coupon code for 20% off any of one of our single patterns. And then we'll also be doing giveaway for if you do 60 of the 90 days. We'll be giving away at least 1 single pattern, possibly more. It just depends on when this ends. We'll go in and do a spreadsheet of everyone that did at least 87 and a spreadsheet of at least everyone who did at least 60, and then we'll see how many finishers there were. That'll help us decide what giveaways to do. We will lock the thread for entering the morning of April 1st. Which is Easter.
That's no joke.
Which is April Fool's Day and Easter. So you need to make sure you have all your stuff in by March 30th. Okay?
Sure.
So. No, it must be March 31st because there's 31 days in January, 28 in February, but it's a total of 90 days, so it has to be 31 days. So, make sure you get all your entries in. Now, as for what I'm reading, I finished reading...
too many things.
I know. I finished reading... I'm modifying the title because this is a family-friendly show. You Are a Bad. How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. There were parts of it that were good. I wouldn't oh my gosh, everybody needs to read this. There were good parts, but there were some parts that... just weren't so great, in my opinion. I am now reading Rising Strong by Brene Brown, and I adore her writing as well. She's another one of my very favorite nonfiction writers. So I'm reading that, and I'm also reading a book that my friend and mentor Tara Swiger sent to me called Being the Starfish by Neil Anderson. And this is... Damn, he's holding my hand.
You're nudging me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was playing with my slipper.
I know.
While I was talking. Sorry. It is a book written for people who are building a business with doTERRA essential oils. So I'm enjoying reading that as well. Fiction-wise, I think all of these are...
They all look like Kindle Unlimited.
I'm pretty sure they're all Kindle Unlimited. So first up is Royal Witch Curse, which is part of the Sweetland Witch series by Zoe Arden. I finished that. I read the 10th book in the Spellbound Paranormal Cozy Mystery series called All Spell Breaks Loose by Annabelle Chase. That was a good one. It was like a culmination of like so many different things that were going on. So it was really good. I read Never See Echoes of the Lost by Janetta Pinner and David R. Bernstein. This was like they took the story of the Little Mermaid, like the actual fairy tales, not like the Disney, of the Little Mermaid with the story of Peter Pan, but mashed it up with a thing of like all of the ice caps on Earth have melted, and so Earth is almost completely water, and people are living in like domes under the sea or on these like floating islands of like boats and such that have like all been put together. And there is a lady who is doing experiments on people to make them better able to live in a primarily water environment. So like she gave one girl like gills. So it was interesting, but it was not like one of my favorite books. I don't know. I was like, okay, I want to finish reading it just to kind of see what happens, but yeah. So, however, the next book I finished reading, which is book 2 of the Frost Easton series called The Voice Inside by Brian Freeman. Holy crap, it was good. It is a thriller murder mystery. And oh my gosh, it was so intense. It was so, like, the ending just totally blew my mind because I did not see it coming at all. What happened? I won't spoil it, but it's really good. But it is a very, very intense thriller. So, and then I don't think this one was Kindle Unlimited, but I think it was because it's like a prequel thing. So I think it was like free. So you just like bought it, but there was no charge for it. I've got the first book in it ready to read next. So this is called Witch Myth: A You Hollow Christmas, The Beginning by Alexandria Clark. I've read some other stuff by her. Yeah, but this was like, I don't know, it was like 100 or so-ish pages. So it was just like kind of a free prequel thing. So I just finished that last night before I went to sleep. So I haven't started the next one yet, but that is next on my list. All right, let's talk about what we're watching. I watched some more Hallmark Channel and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries Channel movies. I watched One Winter Weekend. I watched Winter's Dream that had Dean Cain in it. As we've discussed in the past, all these Hallmark movies are very formulaic.
Formulaic?
Yes. They
have the same plot, essentially.
They're very cheesy as well. It was entertaining, but it wasn't like, oh, this was such a great movie, I need to tell people to watch it type thing. I also watched Morning Show Mystery Mortal Mishaps. It had Al Roker from whichever morning show it was. He was like the weatherman.
Okay.
He was one of the producers, and he had a cameo in it. It made me laugh.
Okay.
So, and then what other movie did we watch, Tammy?
I made you watch The Phantom of the Opera 25th anniversary of the Royal Albert Hall.
It was so good.
So good.
So good. Made me cry. Especially at the end. Do you want to tell them about what happened at the end?
No, that's a spoiler. Even though it's been in London for over 30 years and been on Broadway for 30 years, it's a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
It's a spoiler.
They had some guest people.
Oh, I thought you meant like end of the show.
No, I was talking about that.
No, Sarah Brightman was there.
As well as
Peter Yovack, Anthony Warlow, John Owen Jones, Colm Wilkinson. I love him. And Karen Blue was also there, of course. Duh.
Yes. It was really cool though because they did some had them each singing parts of the thing kind of as a encore. We also, I watched it and then I sent it to you and you said you'd already seen it for the 30th anniversary on Broadway that just happened in the last week or so.
Yeah, those. Let's see, they had their 30th anniversary performance on the 24th.
Okay.
But then the actual 30th anniversary was the 26th, but that was a 2-show day, so
okay.
It would have been too busy.
Yeah, so in New York at the Empire State Building, they did this light show set to different songs from Phantom, and
Andrew Lloyd Webber?
yes, Andrew Lloyd Webber and what's the other guy's name?
Hal Prince?
Yes, they flipped the switch, and then it was filming, watching them watch the thing. It was cool.
That morning they also did a photo shoot at the Empire State Building in costume, the Phantom, Roll, and Christine. And the Phantom, Peter Yovack, went up to unsuspecting people in the Empire State Building. He was like, "Sing for me!" And he's Swedish, so he's got a little accent. They're like, "What is this going on?"
Was he wearing the mask?
Yeah, he was wearing the full costume.
That's funny. And who's playing Christine right now?
Ali Ewald.
Do I know her?
No.
Okay.
But she's cute. And
Okay.
Rodney Ingram is playing Rawl.
Do I know him?
No.
Okay. But I knew who was playing it in the 25th.
Hadley Frazier?
Yes.
He was in an episode of Doctor Who.
Yes.
One episode.
One episode.
In 2006.
But there was some other stuff that I recognized him from as well. And, what was her name?
Sarah Boggess.
Yeah.
Boggess.
She was really good. What other character was I like? Oh, they had really cast that one well. Oh, the opera singer, the one that had to
Carlotta?
but the actress,
I don't remember her name.
I can't remember her name, but whoever was supposed to be doing it got really sick and it affected her voice. So they brought on the lady who was playing Carlotta in the actual London production that was going on right then. And she was really good. She's an opera singer. And
I think all of the Carlottas have been actually trained opera singers.
she was really good. They cast her really well.
And the Bianchis too.
Yeah. So it was really, and oh my gosh, the chandelier.
Yeah, I thought it was the real Albert Hall chandelier.
It wasn't. It was specially done
Maria
for
Maria Bjornsson, who was the production and costume designer, but she died. I can't remember when, but
I want to say it was about 5 years previously or something. But it was the chandelier was stunning, and I've had Masquerade in my head ever since we watched it, and that's Dammy's fault. Okay, look.
okay.
We talked about that
movies.
we talked about that for 5 minutes. So you should watch it. It's really cool. It's available on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Link in the show notes.
I think it's on Netflix too.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. I'm watching Charmed. I'm watching season 3. I'm not quite halfway through season 3. Yeah, but I'm watching that. Do you want to talk about this next one?
Sure. We are watching season 3 of Supergirl, and we watched 2 episodes because we didn't get the first episode in time for the last podcast.
Yeah.
So Sam realized that she's missing time and doesn't know what's happening, but we do.
Yes.
And then they took down Edge, and Sam doesn't have any physical ailments causing her blackouts, of course, but we know what is causing it.
Yes, we do. Okay. Do you want to talk about the next one too?
Oh, sure. Watching season 15 of NCIS. And family situation with teenage subject as well as Director Vance's daughter.
Yes. Remember his daughter got arrested for...
Yes, that sentence just sort of doesn't make sense.
Well, and then, what were they investigating? It was a teenager. Mm-hmm. I can't remember.
Accidental hit and run in the dark.
Oh, that's right. That's right, and it was a a soldier that was killed. Yes, I remember now. Marine.
Naval
Yes.
Investigative Services.
NCIS New Orleans. We're watching season 4. Tim Russ from Voyager was in this episode. And LaSalle's dad died and left him in charge of the family business. And he didn't know he was going to be left in charge. And he doesn't want to be in charge. He wants to be working for NCIS like he was doing. Watching season 4 of Flash. Barry's in jail. Ralph had to rise up. That's how they...
Ralph?
He's the stretchy guy.
Okay.
Hold on, they named him. Did I write it down? They named him
Elastigai
or Elastaman or something like that. The girl, and then at the end of the episode, there was this girl in the coffee shop writing in the language Barry was writing in when he came back from the Speed Force, like at the beginning of the season. So something's going on there. We're going to find out about that. You want to talk about the next thing?
Sure, you wrote this.
I did.
We are watching season 3 of 13 Chrono Lines. And effective immediately, Emily is on administrative leave, and JJ is the acting unit chief. But why? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
What did you do, Emily? What did you do? I think we'll find out maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
Oh, and I'm talking about this one?
Sure.
Watching season 4 of The Librarians was about body swapping, and now Jenkins has new friends.
They were playing D&D together.
And then we're watching season 11 of The X-Files. I liked this episode. It was funny and bad, but good.
It was seriously funny.
Yeah.
There was
the Mandela effect. And then I made you Google it. Because how do you spell Berenstein Bears?
With an E, but it's not. It's with an A.
Yeah, A-I-N, not E-I-N.
There's a bunch of them. But I was just telling... I'm part of a creative business community called The Starship with Tara Swiger, my mentor. And we were joking about... She's going to California to do some workshops. And she was like trying to factor in like time to get from one location to another. And... it's very busy roads and everything, and so we were trying to come up with alternative solutions. And so I was like, where's the Star Trek transporter? And somebody was like, oh no, the TARDIS. And then somebody was like, what about a Segway? And then I was like, did anybody see this most recent episode of X-Files? The alien came out of his spaceship, got on a Segway, rode it like 10 feet to Mulder and Scully, got off, talked to them, got back on, rode about 10 feet back to the ship, and got back on the ship.
With an Elvis cape.
With an Elvis cape. With sparkles and everything. But it was so funny because they referenced...
It was so dumb and funny and perfect.
Yes. They referenced so many crazy funny things in that episode. I really enjoyed it. It was... I mean, because we had been saying...
This is too dramatic. This is not it.
Yeah, so I was really
like,
pleased.
X-Files is dramatic, but this is like action thriller dramatic.
Yeah,
and that's not what X-Files is.
Yeah. And we wanted a monster...
Find the mystery.
Yeah, we've been wanting a Monster of the Week episode.
This wasn't really a monster.
But it kind of had
funny.
that. It was funny with like this guy who thought he was also part of Mulder and Scully's team working for the X-Files.
I don't watch these things.
No, Death in Paradise Series 7. There was an assumed identity to cover up a 35-year-old murder.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was intense. And then season 13 of Supernatural, Donna's Doug can't handle the hunter life. I'm sure this is part of freeing her up for the upcoming Wayward Sisters spinoff.
Sure.
So he didn't know that she was a hunter. Oh. But then there was something that happened that he kind of got drawn in, and he like helped them, but then he couldn't handle it. He was like, I can't do this. So like I said, I'm sure it's because of them getting ready to do the spinoff. Arrow season 6. Caden James is blackmailing the city. Caden James is also Ben Linus from Lost and Harold Finch from Person of Interest. What's his real name? Michael Emerson. I just always refer to him like as Ben or whatever.
It's not his name.
Yeah. And then Oliver's son William now understands how important Arrow is to Star City.
We watch too much stuff.
We do. You want to talk about what's going on next?
Yeah. We're watching season 3 of Blind Spot. They found Jane Starter.
Yes.
And then we're watching season 5 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They got Zephyr off the ground. I'm kind of waiting for this plotline to sort of pick up steam now.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we're going to actually, like, accomplish something now. We're watching Series 7 of Call the Midwife, and this episode was about prejudices, especially with the new midwife who is Caribbean, and just the attitudes of some of the people in that part of the city about that. And then we're watching season 11 of Murdoch Mysteries. It was a cooking competition. It was like really funny because it was like, you could totally tell it was like inspired by like some of the current TV competitions. And there was this one guy who was judging that was being the really like nasty, ugly guy and being really mean to all of them. And then at the end, Crabtree like was inventing TV dinners, even though there was no TV. He was like, you can eat it while you're sitting and looking out the window, and you might see the weather. You might see
the weather.
You might see like what's going on with the weather. You might see a police officer arresting somebody and solving a crime. So he was like,
oh my gosh,
it was really funny. I can't remember what abbreviations he was using for TV, or like what it meant, the T and the V. Because Inspector Brackenreed was like, that's too long. He was like, well, I guess you could call them TV dinners. It was funny. It was funny. All right, I am still majorly listening to Christine Ocklesby Held Lullabies for the Beloved. What about you?
I am listening to something that's not on there. Sorry. I'm
Okay.
listening to like 3 songs on repeat, plus Cabin Pressure.
Okay.
Anastasia, Broadway cast album, Jekyll and Hyde, Broadway cast album, and Newsies, Broadway cast album. And then Cabin Pressure.
Okay.
Because for my next audition, my song is from Newsies.
Okay. That happens before the auditions for scholarships.
Yes.
Okay.
But after the Distinguished Scholar Day.
Because she's so distinguished.
I'm so tired.
I know. Next week is insanity. You guys will be like kind of off our rockers when we record next week. Okay, so I think that's everything we're reading, watching, and listening to. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for our December, January, February Winter Wonderland Owl.
Walking in the winter wonderland.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
This started on the 1st of December and it runs through the 28th of February. 3 main rules. One, it's for Ravelry crafts. Only, yes. So it's for any knit, crochet, woven, or spun item that you can relate to. Oh my word, why am I saying
it's for
any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us relates to winter?
Yeah, you just read what you wrote right there. That's
I know,
exactly
but
what you say.
I tried to make it.
Trying to do it in the passive voice.
Yeah, I didn't mean to try to do that. It just kind of came out that way. So that's first. Second, no whips are allowed. You have to start your project December 1st or later and finish it by the 28th of February. New rule that will be, again, modified for our upcoming spring owl that will start in March. But for now, if you're posting in the FO thread, if you have an item that you finish that uses less than 10 grams of yarn, you should group it with other items to make it at least 10 grams total. So, like, for example, this week in the FO thread, somebody made some scrubbies, like for dishes, and one of them wasn't enough, but 2 of them together made, I don't know, like 17 or something. So that one post with those 2 items in it counts as one entry into the giveaways. If you have questions on that, contact us. We're happy to talk about that. Feel free to poly dip in other owls as long as it meets the rules. We have lots of lovely prizes on the screen right now. A huge thank you to all the sponsors who donated prizes. If you'd like to see larger pictures of these, the links to the shops, and all the information, you can go to
geekygirlsnet.com.
Or you can tune in for the first podcast of the month where we talk about them in detail. Thank you, sponsors. You're awesome. You have to be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit Ravelry group on... Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. What is wrong with me, you guys? I have like a start of a migraine. That's what's wrong with me. Every project that you finish and post in the FO thread, other than the whole 10 gram thing we just talked about, counts as one entry into the giveaways. The hashtag is hashtag GGKWinter1718. We'll lock the thread the morning of the 1st of March, and we'll draw prize winners on the first podcast after that. You'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you are a winner. There's a chatter thread where you can talk about what you're working on, and Dammy gives shout outs to everybody who finishes projects, but she also shouts out here on the podcast. So Dammy, are you ready? Okay, shout out.
Allison Roseboom, Andy, Angie's Hip, April Crocs 26, Asteride, Celeste, Country Bumps, Crofts Untold, D Door 4, good grief.
Sorry.
D Door 4, DG.
Sorry, it shifted.
DG White, Falling Star 12, Felipa MC, Frymeister, Firefly 12, Grandma Becky, Hazy Summers, I Knit Socks 2, Jalarima, Jennifer Reels, JP Music 15, K2P2 Mama, Karen Louise 59, Carlene Page, Kenneth Ellen, Knit Central, Knitting for Sanity, Little Angel SG2, El McCall, Mama Mia 64, Maria Wilhelmina, Mo's Crochet, Mookie Moon 1974, SLC3, Tammy plus Hazel, The Cat Knit, VT Kimmy Kim, Watch Angel 8, and Yell Cat 2.
Great job, everybody. So sorry, that was totally my fault. I was getting a drink of
You made it clunk
Coke
3 times.
for my head, and I accidentally squeezed the can and then it popped back out, and then I was trying to scroll to get to the next part of the list for Dammy to read, and I guess maybe my
Yes, your wheel sticks. So it scrolled up and then you scrolled too far.
yeah, I'm thinking that the wheel might be giving up the ghost. I may need to get a replacement mouse, because I love my MacBook Pro that I have, but I hate using the trackpad. Is that what it's called?
Mousepad.
I hate using that. So
That's what I use, though.
So I have a separate wireless mouse that I use that makes my life so much easier, other than when it just does things like that, where it just did, where it shifts crazily. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
All right, Dammy, what's this? What?
We really do.
Yes, we do. What's this week's question?
This week's question is from Joanna, who is Witch Angel 8 from Arizona.
Hi, Joanna.
So I'm watching your vlog, Miss Cece. This was back in December.
Yes.
And in the parts where there is no talking, you have on music. What is it? I know that Kay and Dan of the Bakery Bears podcast use it at the end, and she sings to the tune. However, I do not know what the tune is, and I like it.
It is a song that comes pre-packaged in iMovie, which is what we use to edit our podcast. The name of the song is First Snowfall, but I don't think that there are actual... I mean, I know Bakery Bears, she made up some lyrics to it, but I don't think that there are actually any... From what I could find as Googling and trying to look, I don't find any actual lyrics. I just thought it was a fun little tune that and I was because Vlogmas December, Christmas, snow, that's why I chose it, because it was called First Snowfall. That's the whole story behind it. So, yeah, so it comes prepackaged with iMovie, along with much of the other music that we use in the podcast.
Yeah.
Other than our
Title song.
Our title song is not. I think some of the Jingle Bell stuff and some of the sheep is not.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else. I feel like there's something else that is not from iMovie. Anyway. Yeah. So I think that answers the question.
Okay.
So, Dammy, if somebody has a question, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
And we'll answer it. We tend to answer them in order unless something is time sensitive. All right, let's move on to the next segment. All right, we made it to the end. Yay! Sorry that... I feel like I was really spacey this episode. Y'all know me. You know. Okay, I want to do another reminder that for those of y'all in the greater Seattle area, if you own a yarn shop, visit a yarn shop, have a knitting group, go to a knitting group, you're just interested in natural solutions, you'd like to come to a workshop, My mentor Tara is going to be here towards the end of February, and we would love to come do like a natural solutions for knitters crocheters if you're one of those ones I mentioned, or if you would just like to attend like an essential oils 101 or a natural solutions workshop. Send me a message. Our email address is
geekygirlsnet@gmail.com.
Yeah, that one's fine. I mean, we have several different email addresses. And we will do our best to make that happen. Tara's also going to be coming back more times in the spring, so if it doesn't work out this time, we can arrange another one. But yeah, just throwing that out there if that's something you're interested in. I'm also going to be doing a webinar on this Saturday, the 3rd.
I have
Because
no idea.
tomorrow's the 1st, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Sure.
The 3rd. I don't have a title yet, but I'm going to be talking about ways that you can blend essential oils together to use them for different things like anxiety or chronic pain or headaches or a pick-me-up or sleep. So if you are interested in that, if you go to geekygirlsnet.com and click on essential oils at the top, there is a place where you can enter your name and email address, and I will notify you about that. I'll put it out on social media as well, and it'll be recorded. So if you can't come live at 11 a.m. Pacific, it'll be recorded. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing that. So just throwing that out there for y'all. Do we have any other announcements? I think we are on track still for at least the next few weeks to be doing podcast as scheduled. So let's talk about our normal stuff. We thank y'all so much for all the ways that you support the podcast, but especially those who support financially. There's 3 main ways you can do that. First one is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge an amount of money per month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on that. It's kind of like the PBS donation thing where you pledge an amount and you get a tote bag or book or I don't know, whatever they're giving away these days. Yeah, so if you want to know more about that or want to sign up, you can go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsnet.
Yes, what else, Tammy?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
That's right, and we are amazon.com, .co.uk, and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you click through our site first, we earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. Dammy, where can they find us online? Where can they find out more about those things?
You can go to our website, geekygirlsnet.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely rest of your week. It's kind of uncharacteristically feeling like spring already today for some reason. Yesterday was super sunny. Mm-hmm. So we're having a few, hopefully, I guess, nice weather days in the end of January. Who knew? We hope you all have a lovely rest of your week. We will talk to you soon, and have a great one. Bye.
Bye.
Spring is coming. Come on, Birdie, talk to us. It's camera shy. I don't hear it anymore. Birdie? Where's the birdie? Oh. As soon as you sit down, though, it's going to start again. Well, this means spring is on its way.